your culture queen, and these are the Cohen kids. Today, you are in for a treat. We are here at the W.E.B. Dubois Centre, and we're going to learn about his history, his legacy of education, of activism for our people. I want to just take a minute to read to you this sign here. It says W.E.B. Dubois Quote, "One thing alone I charge you. As you live, believe in life. Always human beings will live and progress to greater, broader, and fuller life. The only possible death is to lose belief in this truth simply because the great end comes slowly, because time is long." Unquote. So again, today is a great day. Come with us as we begin our journey to go and search and find our history as it is laid here in this great place in Ghana. Come with us, shall we? Let's just look around this room. This is, who said yesterday in our lesson, the king? Someone said they thought we were going to see what? I think you said you thought you was going to see a what? A museum, a gallery. So I guess you would consider this area to be a gallery that you walk around and look at pictures and see what we see. And here, guys, it says from Malcolm X, Brother Malcolm X, "I'm for truth, no matter who tells it. I'm for justice, no matter who it is for or against. I am a human being first and foremost, and as such, I'm for whoever and whatever benefits humanity as a whole." May God bless his soul.
Amen.
Because that is exactly our belief, our philosophy, all of the activism that I have done over the past 20 years. This sums it up in such a beautiful, concise way. And my soul is very happy. Doesn't that sound like your mom? All right. Okay, shall we?
Yes. The word over there leads to the kitchen. This part leads to the kitchen. So when the food is prepared down there in the kitchen, it is served through this place, then it's taken to the dining hall. Okay?
So this was the dining hall on this side?
No, that is the dining room. That is the dining room.
Okay.
That is Dubois' guest room. Because he stood for education for all, his guest room has been turned into a public library, open from Monday to Saturday, from 9 to 4:30 p.m. Free for anybody at all to come and read any book of his choice.
Oh, wow.
That is Dubois' teacups.
His actual tea taps?
Yes, his actual
Wow,
teacups.
guys, look how small that they drink.
So, Bala, how many rounds or how many sips do you think you can go from this cup? 2. Are you sure 2 will be okay for you? I'm not sure, maybe probably 5.
I don't drink.
You don't drink so much.
I don't drink small sips. I just
Go
Just
big.
take it fast. Oh, that is a great, I love it. Love it. So we are moving to the boys' guest room.
Okay.
Dr. Dubois once said, quote, "Children learn more from what you are than what you teach," unquote. As a professional educator, I have found that culminating activities such as educational field trips significantly increase the quality of the students' learning outcomes. You see, culminating activities not only provide a means of synthesizing the content acquired through their textbooks and classroom learning, but they also motivate the students to stay actively engaged in the learning process as they demonstrate depth and breadth of knowledge of their studies.
Know your civil rights activists.
Uncle
Uncle Muhammad,
Uncle Marcus Garvey,
Uncle Marcus Garvey, Uncle Huey,
Nelson Mandela, Auntie Rosa Parks, Uncle Malcolm, Uncle Huey, all of these are our favorite.
yes.
Okay, only one I haven't heard is Auntie
Queen
Queen.
Nani, then we have Auntie Rosa.
Yeah, we know loads of them. This is the one that we'll start with, guys. Okay, sounds good?
Yes. Queen Nani from the Maroons.
Oh, I'm excited. Oh,
That is
Uncle Bob Marley. Okay. All right. Well, as you all know, we are homeschool learners, and these kiddos will be coming to have their reading, and I'm just going to go right straight through them. And what I love most about the Ghanaian culture is the respect that is passed down as tradition from the young children to the elders. No matter, everyone is auntie. If it's an older woman, it's auntie or it's mama. It doesn't matter. Everyone is dad or uncle or sir. If it is an older man, and it is done indiscriminately, and that is just the way it is. So as you will see in this set of books here, the concept. So here is a book on Rosa Parks. As you see, Aunt Rosa. Okay, and it looks very interesting because it has activities. It's very similar to the one we did, isn't it, on W.E.B. Du Bois. Yes, Martin, we have that. We have the can you find it?
Yes.
Oh, there it is.
Yes.
Uncle Martin.
There's Uncle Martin.
Show
We have
the
Uncle
video
Marcus.
of Uncle Martin. And so what's very interesting is that on their homeschool lesson on W.E.B. Du Bois, it was very similar to this. They had activities that they did.
Oh, wow.
Crossword puzzle. Look, guys.
Oh,
Look.
that is great. Cross puzzles.
Another crossword puzzle. So this is something that you guys will be looking forward to. This is Queen Nanny of the Maroons. I haven't heard of her. Uncle Nell Muhammad. Uncle Marcus Garvey. Uncle and Dr. Huey Newton. Uncle and revolutionist Malcolm X. And the great, legendary Bob Marley. Uncle Bob Marley. So we have found a new place to hang out in this library here at the W.E.B. Du Bois. Shall we? Yes, Muhammad Ali recently died. Yes, we're going to go in there. So now we are going into where our tourists just mentioned. This was the dining area. This is where we watch our steps. This is where he would have his dinner. So let's look at some of these pictures. We have here the walls of civil rights and Pan-Africanist leaders. What do you think that Pan-Africanist leaders mean?
People that try to lead the world, but like W.E.B. We try to lead the world, but none of the people that fight for freedom and justice.
Oh, right. Oh, both of you all put it together. You're right.
Like him, W.E.B. try to make the rights come true, but it still haven't come true.
Yes, they're fighting. The saga continues. The struggle, the fight for freedom and justice continues. And so this is a wall of civil rights and Pan-Africanist leaders, and I would also say humanitarians Because when you're a true leader, as Malcolm said, you're fighting for humanity. All right? Human rights activists. I'm not familiar with Toni Morrison. She was a great writer and author. And this is Kwame Nkrumah. I'm still saying it with an American dialect, but we're getting it. Okay. And we do know Auntie Rosa. All right. Not familiar with this civil rights leader. Shall we come down?
As the old saying goes, a wise man knows that he knows nothing at all. We are learning of various African presidents and leaders who have made great efforts to unite the African people and their nations. Many are they who have tried to protect Africans from exploitation. The Cohen kids and I will dig deeper into our African studies. As Dr. Dubois would say, quote, education is the development of power and ideal, unquote.
So that being said, great discussion. We'll have a lot of this going on. Okay. But let's read what Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois said. It says, the cost of liberty is less than the price of repression. What does that mean?
The cost of repression is very expensive. Consider how much it costs to control the media, educational systems, religious institutions, and so forth. Remember, to control the people's behavior, one must control their thinking. And to control their thinking, one must control their information.
Okay, now we are entering into W.E.B. Du Bois' personal office. And this is one of the two rooms that there is, they have a prohibited videos from occurring in this room and the next room. So we're going to take a brief moment to go into his office. But I tell you what, if you are curious to what's in this room, you gotta come to Ghana. Bye. Be right back.
1 hour later.
So, since you want to know, you are curious to know what is inside, we are going to see, okay? So, we are in the final resting place of Dr. Mr. William Edward Bagat Du Bois, born on 23rd February 1868, passed away on 27th August 1963, has his final resting place over here. Initially, when he passed away, he was given a state burial. So the pictures you see there are his state burial pictures. So he was taken to where presidents and dignitaries are buried when they passed away. That is for Sue Christian workers. And when this place was decided to make into a museum by the late His Excellency Jerry John Rawlins, then his body was moved from that place to this place in the year 1985. So now his body is buried right on the compound that was given to him by Kwame Nkrumah, the first president.
W.E.B. Du Bois's aura is so inspiring and strong that we feel it even after he is dead and gone. Dr. Du Bois once said, quote, "The return from your work must be the satisfaction which that work brings you and the world's need of that work. With this, life is heaven, or as near heaven as you can get. Without this, with work which you despise, which bores you, and which the world does not need, this life is hell," unquote.
Right, the stools you see here were welcome gifts given to the boys by the chiefs of this country.
Okay. How many chiefs?
Count for me, King. Start there.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
7. So 7. Are you okay? The flags in the middle of the stools are the schools they taught and attended. Shelley attended Oberlin. Dubois attended Harvard. And Dubois taught in Clark, Atlanta, and Howard. The stools we see over there have signs on it. And those are the Edinburgh symbols. The Edinburgh symbols are many. So the ones that I know, we are going to share knowledge on. This one is God is King. God is King. I'm talking about this part of the stool. Are you okay?
Besides God,
Good.
we fear none.
Are you okay?
Do you know me?
This is Sankofa. Return to your past. If you intend to do something in the past and you couldn't do it, when you go back to do it, it is not a crime. Example, maybe you wanted to go to school when you were a child, but the means of going to school wasn't available. When you go and you have the means of going, you can go to school.
Now, let me also, if we can come closer to the Sankofa, let's come closer. So, if you look at the bird, all right, the bird's feet are facing forward, meaning in life we always face forward. But as you can see, the bird is looking back at her history. So you, in order to move forward with purpose, with determination, you have to keep your feet forward, but you also got to look back at your history to know where you come from and what you've been through, right? But what you cannot see is in this bird's mouth is her egg. Her egg, meaning her young. So parents, you face forward. Keep your family moving forward. Learn your history, but put your children in the process. It is all generations, past, present, and future, in order for us to rise up as a nation, as a people, and as a humanity.
Okay, thanks for sharing too.
Yeah.
The next one is Jiname, the supremacy of God. Nothing is incapable for God.
Ah, wait, I thought that was Genome.
No.
Oh.
This is Jiname. It is in two ways. We have the male one and the female one. This is the female, that is the male. So this is what we normally see.
Ah.
Yes. The male one is not normally exposed like the female one.
Okay.
So this is the Jiname, the supremacy of God.
I just learned something today, guys. I thought that I didn't see the distinction. So we always learn in homeschool. I always yes.
You see the lining on that.
Good.
That's what I was about to say. We in homeschool we always
but
look
that
at
one have the girl hair and that one has boy hair.
the masculine and feminine. So what they are doing is what they always do in homeschool. They look at the similarities and differences in order to gain a very distinct understanding of the two. Whereas before this moment, I never had that distinction of the two. But now, moving forward in the rest of my life, I will naturally see that this is God as King.
Yes. So if you want to picture it, the moment you see it, you got to look at this side. The 1, 2, 3. This side, with the male side is 3. 1, 2, 3. But with the female side, it is 2. As we see it. 1, 2. 1, 2. You got a difference now?
I love it. Yes.
Good. And with this one, it is tilted a bit. You see, it is tilted. But if you look at the other one, it is straight in shape. You see?
Mm-hmm.
It is straight. So that is the difference you have to take note of.
So God is King, and what do we call this?
Nyame hene.
Oh Lord. Say it.
Nyame hene.
Name na hene.
Yes.
Name na hene. God is King.
God is King. Nyame hene.
Okay.
Oh,
King,
yeah,
say it for
okay.
everybody. Woo. Say it for everybody, King.
This is Jiname.
Jinami.
Yes.
And that's supremacy of God.
How do I know how to say it?
Because you're so young and you're just, young people can catch on quick.
This one is love does not misplace its way back home.
Yes.
Although that is the sense of love. We normally meet people on our way. Then you'll be like, I know this person somewhere.
That was what this meant in Dinkra.
Yes,
But it doesn't look like that. Almost it
almost
does.
It does.
They missed,
Almost it does.
I guess, oh my God.
Yes.
When he said that, I got that tatted on me. In 2000, maybe 2003 or something. I'd have to look back, but years ago. And I didn't know that I didn't recognize it there, but when he said what it meant, I'm like, well, hold up now, because I know that a dangerous sign right there, because it's I wear it on me.
That is the sense of love.
Yes.
You meet people on our way, you be like, I know this person somewhere. It seems I know them.
Yes,
That is the
love.
sense of
That's why I put it on me.
Yeah.
It's like a panda.
Yes.
That looks like a.
Well,
Yes.
I got it done in
You
America.
got
They
it.
didn't really quite
This one-
understand the
this one-
history, so
No,
they
but
tried.
This one looks like a bear, but that one looks like
A heart. Yes. Comparing and contrasting
But
similarities and
one
differences.
upside down.
And that's not the symbol that I've seen in a dictionary, in a Adinkra dictionary. Because they would have come, oh, be careful, they would have come closer. So that's something else for you to look into, to look at the different variations of the sign.
This one is according to our insanity, a journey which is not returnable.
A what?
A journey.
A journey. A journey
Yeah, journey.
is not.
A journey which is not returnable. So which journey is not returnable? That is life and death.
Yes.
That is what that is not returnable.
Mm-hmm.
When you are a child, you can never come back to your childhood again.
Mm-hmm.
When you get to your youthful stage, you can never come back to your youthful stage again. When you go to your adult stage, you can never come back. When you become old, you cannot get back to oldness again. And when you pass away, you cannot come to life. So these two is trying to tell us that we should live something meaningful, something useful.
Yeah.
That if we are out of that stage, we will be like, oh, this is what I did in that stage that benefited me.
Yes, we actually read that we're starting that on the play. The what is it? The Ghost of what? What is that play we started looking into? Ghost of. Do you remember? You remember
Atto.
the
Ghost of Atto. Oh, yeah.
The Ghost of Atto. It talks about
Atto.
similarly the message there, which means he's dealing with his childhood, like you cannot go back to his childhood, so he deals with it in memory versus in reality.
Wow.
But this is similar. That's a similar meaning to that literature that they're reading right now. So interesting.
So this one too is the same as although you run the quite feel. Love does not misplace its way back home. As the first one that we saw.
Yes. It's different or is it the same?
It is the same.
Okay, it's the same.
But this one is giving me, because the signs are meaning, this one is giving me a different meaning. I don't want to give a false information on it. That the day I get to know of the actual meaning, I would have connected people. Had it not been this in the middle, I would have said it is power. But that one is making it a different meaning, so I don't want to talk about it. Then I'll pollute people.
Yes, that much respect.
Yes.
When we don't know, just don't say it. Got it. Well, we'll research it. So let's get close to, can we get zoom in on this? And if anyone is watching, and and you do know what the meaning of this is, why don't you leave us a comment?
Today he's having a web over here. That is why you are here. He's having a web in another place too. You go there. Some like China, I'm sure he has a web over there because he went to China. So he probably left something behind in China that you can witness that. He was in US, you can witness that in wherever he went, he left something there. That is his legacy that we are talking about. The home of a spider is in two ways. The spider itself does not walk.
Spider doesn't have a home.
The home of a spider, that is the web of a spider. So let me say it. the web of a spider. Are you okay with that? Okay. The web of a spider is in two ways. It has a sticky part and a flexible part. The spider itself does not walk on the sticky part because he will get stuck. He walks on the flexible part to aid his movement. That is Du Bois. When he was fighting for the rights of blacks in America, he saw that the mantle that he had taken upon himself was a very great task that he cannot accomplish alone. So he needed to involve people. That is how come Marcus Garvey, Martin Luther King Jr., Booker Washington, Malcolm X, and other stuff also joined.
Yes, absolutely.
So those that were weaker were those that were weaved around those people. And they were all fighting towards one goal, and that is the unity. All these connections are coming from various junctions to one point. That is the unity. That is Du Bois. So he's trying to tell us that we should be like the spider. We should connect. We should involve people in whatever that we do that we know that we cannot achieve on our own. He says, their time, life was difficult, but they managed to break out something peaceful, something meaningful that we are looking up to. What are we doing that?
W.E.B. Du Bois once said, quote, "There is in this world no such force as the force of a person determined to rise. The human soul cannot be permanently chained." Unquote. His words, his work, this museum reflect greatness and the legacy of Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois. Soulmates, I say unto you, link up to lift up each other. And as we rise up, our future generations will rise up.
To the end of our talk. Thank you for your time, your cooperation.
Don't
and your
forget to
collaboration.
subscribe.